thought you were going to join us, Terry. Dwayne and I have been watching Tracy's amazing video that was released this morning. Tracy and her friend Professor Dane.
You mean the nutty Professor Joan? Anyway, I don't believe he's a proper professor at all. Why would someone with a title like that be living along Abbey Road? He's another weird one in the Torquay collection.
Well, he was able to reassure me that after years of abuse and neglect, it is still possible to turn our lovely Torquay town centre around.
You missed a blinder, Terry, you really did. We were both glued to Tracy and the professor's video.
Well, you two need to become unstuck, and fast. Tracy Ireland is only on this crusade for her own ends. Everything is about her. Look at the clothes she wears. How does she afford them? Dresses that you'd never find in any Torquay charity shop. She buys things from the people who knock on doors and steal to order.
Well, fancy that, Terry. Last week, you stood in the middle of Rock Road, applauding Tracy to her face, and saying how you couldn't wait to see her latest video, to learn how she will stand up to all the drugs, deprivation, slum housing and rogue landlords, with the help of her street crew team.
Joan, I never said anything of the sort. You know me, I still listen to the radio. I don't deal with social media.
Terry, if you were Pinocchio, your nose would be rubbing against Tesco's rear entrance. You were always as nice as pie to Tracy's face.
Social media attracts too many people, scared to say boo to a goose. They switch on their modern devices, and become vile, loud-mouthed bullies, who get their jollies off, making life a misery for their hand-picked victims.
That's right, Terry, I must agree with you. A vicious troll on Spotted Torquay is reported to have been putting out lies about our lovely Carter's staff this week.
Oh, that's horrible, Dwayne. I thought Spotted was full of respectable, middle-class people and conservatives. Tracy told me once how they refused to share her campaign videos because they were worried their readers might get upset hearing the truth about what life is really like for some of us poor people in Torquay.
Anyway, tell me what Tracy Ireland plans to do to turn Torquay into a heaven on earth.
Her video doesn't pull punches, Terry. Tracy says the first step must be licensing private landlords. You can't make Melville marvelous without it. The clever professor believes the lack of regulation by Torquay Council has supported our decline. He said by protecting landlords from accountability, they allowed the rogue element to rent their properties to people who turn them into a drugs den or spice supermarket. They must shoulder some of the blame for making our town attractive to criminals.
So how will Tracy Ireland's Pie in the Sky Dream Team change all this?
The street crew could be eyes on the ground. They will report properties suspected of being used to sell drugs to the police. Landlords will be licensed and held to account for the people they house in Torquay. They must lawfully evict tenants found guilty of using their property for crime.
Criminals come to Torquay because it's a soft touch at the moment, Terry.
Even if Tracy Ireland has found the answer to all our problems, do you really think Torquay Council will want some woman from Warren Road taking any credit for it? They will want it all for themselves. Street crew will be portrayed as their brainchild. It's how politicians work.
It may surprise you to learn, Terry, that Tracy won't mind the council taking credit. She is not on some ego trip for herself. She's simply an ordinary local woman with a heart.